levels of the revenue bills that are coming to this House. This is already done. This is already done. The division has been done. We know the amount for the devolved units, and we know the amounts for the national government. We're going to have to be magnanimous in this sense, in the sense that we need, therefore, to be almost unanimous, if we can, in making sure we pass this bill today and try to come to conclusion today, bring it to conclusion today. In this spirit, therefore, I invite all honorable senators to evaluate and commit to support this bill and to have it passed within the constitutional and statutory timelines that we have, as I've already outlined above, for the benefit of the devolved systems and in support of the fulfillment of the national government's obligations. And Madam Speaker, the counties right now are waiting for these allocations for the next financial year, for their budgets, for what they have planned. And so it's very important that we try and do our part and not forget that it is our duty to do so. Allow me, therefore, in conclusion, to thank in advance all members. I'm sure this morning, when we didn't have a look at the report, we have had a look at the report from the Finance Committee. We have looked at how the National Assembly dealt with this matter. This is their bill. We've seen at the details about the allocations in terms of the equitable share. That includes, Madam Speaker, as members will have to look at later, the additional conditional grants allocations includes conditional allocations, that's from loans and grants, includes all those conditional allocations and loans and grants that come from various sources, EU, the IDA, World Bank, Sweden agricultural, drought resilience programs, and all those are part of the 409 billion shillings that is going to be disbursed to the devolved units. And so, Madam Speaker, I'm going to have to ask all senators for dedication and commitment, and to thank them for their continued dedication in this term as we start this the new session of Parliament. As we do this, I want to thank them for accepting to cut short the time of the break that we've had to come for this special sitting. And I really appreciate the commitment, because there are a number of attendees here can show you the dedication of this House when it comes to issues financial and many other issues. They are committed. I want to thank the House for coming. And please, anytime we call another special sitting, it will be for important functions, important commitments like this one. I therefore commit the Division of Revenue Bill to you, dear members. I commit it to you, and I ask that you support it. Allow me in conclusion to say, let us continue to adhere to the COVID-19 rules, as we sit in this chamber, as we go about our normal businesses. We have said this is a serious matter. COVID is a serious matter. Please take all precautions. We like to see all of us healthy. And in that regard, I'd like to move the Division of Revenue Bill 2021. I'd like to move that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 7 of 2021, and ask the Leader of Minority to second. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senate Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to second this bill, and one cannot overemphasize the remarks made by the Leader of Majority in moving the bill, but it cannot be gainsaid that the passage of this bill is very important for the operation of counties and the country as a whole. Madam Speaker, my only observation before I go into the content of what I wanted to contribute is that more than any other bill, the Division of Revenue bill is so critical and is the fulcrum of the activities of the Senate. And I think it's a bit of a shame that we are bringing it through a special sitting when most members will not have had the opportunity of looking at the report, dissecting the report, and then looking at the bill as it is presented. I think, Madam Speaker, that is a bit unfortunate, knowing our role. And if you read Article 217 and Article 218, our role is mandatory. We cannot move a step forward in the budgeting process without the passage of the Division of Revenue bill. Indeed, the courts have said that you cannot have an Appropriations Act prior to the enactment of the Division of Revenue bill. And going back to our role as a Senate, if our duty is to defend the counties and protect the interests of those who live in the counties, nothing is as important as the resources, the way they are shared. And it is absolutely unfortunate that in the sharing of these resources, the Senate has the shortest time possible to express themselves in this very important issue. I know that part of the difficulty is that the bill, probably when it originates from the National Assembly and its passage after it's introduced in the National Assembly would control to some extent the time within which it can be introduced in the Senate. But I hope that in looking at the Constitution as a whole and the Public Finance Management Act, something we should do in the future so that we are not put under siege. Because, the budgeting process, for example, for the next financial year started sometime last year. And the product of that process is partly this bill. And it is not right that it's brought to the Senate at a time when not every senator may be available to contribute fully and qualitatively to the bill. The other observation that I wanted to make, Madam Speaker, as you speak today, most of the counties have not received their entitlements for the last 3 months. And it's a constitutional obligation on the Treasury that once we have passed this bill and is enacted and assented to, anything due to the counties must be sent to the counties without delay. It is for good reason that Article 219 of the Constitution was put in very plain words, because historically speaking, under the old Majimbo system, one of the ways that was used to kill that initial form of federalism in this country was by denying the regions money or funds. And when they got it, they got those funds late. And I hope that we don't read the Constitution purely as a guide. Because it looks like when it comes to matters like this, we most of the time use the Constitution as a guide, but not as a directive. And the Constitution tells us that anybody who is required to make a decision must do so in strict compliance with the provisions of the Constitution. And 3 months delay cannot be a reasonable delay. That is unfortunate delay to the disbursement of funds to the counties. I am very glad with the committee that they have agreed with the decision of the High Court that conditional grants cannot be part of shareable revenue. And the executive is very good at playing gymnastics. Like, you know, they played it with medical equipment, that this belongs to you, but we will not release the funds to you for you to spend. We are going to spend it at source. Now, the Constitution says anything that belongs to the counties must be taken to the counties. You cannot hold it. You must disperse all the cash to the counties. And they're the ones who are to decide how to spend it within the law and within the budget. And I have seen the committee's observation on account of the case which was before the court. I think it was also reported today in the courts. But having said all this, Madam Speaker, you know, there was a time that Stokely Carmichael called America a nation of thieves. And the President of the Republic himself said that this country is losing 2 billion shillings through corruption per day. If there is a better definition of a nation of thieves, then there is nowhere you need to look for. Hii maneno ya wizi, it is part of our DNA. And it cannot be dealt with purely by making statements. Now, Madam Speaker, if you look at the reports that come here, medical equipment, KEMSA, these things concern the state. You know, even my friend, the whip, majority whip, Senator Matangi, when this money sometimes is being taken away, you will not know it. It's taken with such speed. It's like a rocket. And whenever those who are entrusted with funds, you know, smell it, they spend it even before it arrives. And I know the governors now are making a lot of noise, Senate, you're doing nothing. But they have smelt it. They have built castles already. They are not seeing the road that they should be building. They are seeing something else. And when they meet the senator for Nandi, they make a lot of noise because I understand you have been making noise, what I may call criticism of what is happening in Nandi. But when the money comes, nobody calls you. They are just concerned about the noise you're making. But when the money comes, they will never tell you, my senator, please come. We want to look at this. Do you have any ideas? This nation called Kenya, let me tell you, Madam Speaker, and the truth be told, and the president should not mince his words, but he also should not mince his action. Because the amount of 2 billion shillings being spent every day, that type of leakage, if your house was leaking to like 2 billion shillings, that is a whole month's rain. Yeah? It is a flood, it's a tsunami. And Madam Speaker, I regret that this great nation, which has got real shock absorbers, because if you hear what is stolen every day, and we are still surviving and breathing, we got great shock absorbers. And God was great to this nation because we've got a lot of patience. There was a time in Italy, if you stole something, and I think that's how they came into control, you just find somebody on a motorbike shooting you on they didn't shoot to kill, they just shoot you on the knees to disable you. In some nations, you are taken to the firing squad, but you are a country of laws. But I don't know what happens. Like when you look at the reports of the Auditor General, I think we are gangsters. We are a nation not just of thieves. This is a bandit economy. I tell you. And we must describe it as such. And we cannot say that the people of Kenya are wrong. It's those who are given responsibility to look after these institutions. And no wonder when you call them, Madam Speaker, in the houses of Congress in the United States, if you are summoned to appear before House of Congress, and Okongo Mugen is here, is the one who likes reading about the Congress. However mighty you are, you will leave everything to appear before House of Representatives. But you have a situation in this country where the mighty are law unto themselves. And they begin to wonder why Senate would be summoning them. And the day they were being made ministers, somebody takes, I swear by the Almighty God, very excited. But that section that says Senate or Parliament can summon anybody at any time, they do not want to read those kind of legal edicts which are part of the law of the land. So at the end of the day, Madam Speaker, now that we are going through this very terrible period, and these people actually, Madam Speaker, when anything comes, when there's a pandemic or a war or a disaster, again, they smell the coffee very quickly. I don't know whether you remember, Madam Speaker, when there was this thing about the funds for the National AIDS Program. It was wiped clean. And now COVID, they have wiped it clean at the national level and at the counties. And the people at the national level should not be taking the battle to the counties. It is both of them. Both the national government and the counties, they have stolen money which should have saved lives, should have built more hospitals, should have brought more equipment to hospitals across the land. But they have stolen this money, and I can tell you, the other judge who was being examined yesterday, he ended up in court being prosecuted. But a lot of times, the people who really should be prosecuted are never prosecuted in this country. This is what is wrong. This is what is wrong. So, Madam Speaker, I commend this bill to the House, despite what I've said, but we'll continue saying it because Kenya should never really earn the honor of being referred to as a bandit of economy or a nation of thieves. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senators. Senators, I now propose a question that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 7 of 2021, be now read a second time. I see an intervention from Senator Faria.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand using Standing Order 106 in terms of limitation of debate in the House. Section 1 says that the Senate may, on motion made by any senator in accordance with this standing order, impose a limit in time of debate on any particular motion bill by allocating time limit in such a debate by limiting the time during which senators may speak in such a debate and by imposing such limitation. Madam Speaker, I propose that you limit debate to 3 minutes so that we can finish all the process for this bill, given that we are on recess and it is going to be very expensive again to call another sitting for the same motion. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable Senators, we are aware that we also have colleagues who are on Zoom and they are waiting to contribute. That's a valid proposal. May I get your opinion on this? Senator Mbogo, Ayako, are you giving us 3 minutes or more than 3 minutes?
Because, Madam Speaker, I won't be speaking on my individual capacity, but as the chair of Finance and Budget
Okay, so you are saying with the exception of the chair of the committee?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't speak.
And we are also, I have seen also Gibiru is going to be speaking from So we'll give Kibiru a chance first, and then we'll give you next. Honorable Senators, Senator Logorio, is it different from 3 minutes?
Madam Chair, I would wish that you give 5 minutes. Division of revenue is an important aspect. It's actually the mainstay of the Senate, dividing revenue to counties. So 5 minutes would be sufficient.
Okay, let me start with the 5 minutes so that if it passes, then we don't go to the second minute. Honorable Senators, may I put it to you that we limit the time to 5 minutes? Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contra say nay? The ayes have it. I will give the first chance to the chair of the committee, Senator Kibiru, and then I'll come back to the vice chair. Senator Kibiru.
We were asked by the leadership of the Senate whether we can make it for today's session to be able to table a report. I persuaded my members to come out in numbers so that we can deliberate. And within a short period, we were able to call stakeholders and be able to come up with a report that is with us today. Madam Speaker, I also want to thank the Secretariat, and specifically the legal team and the Parliamentary Budget Office, including also the Secretariat, the clerk, because they did come up very strongly, and that is why we have some amendments from the bill that came from the National Assembly. All that I can say, Madam Speaker, is that this is a milestone because we were able to convince the Treasury, the CRA, the Council of Governors, and the Attorney General that we must uphold the ruling of the court, because that had been omitted in the bill when it came from the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, having said that, I listened to the morning when we are congratulating the new senator, and congratulations, Senator Hanji Jr., where the Team Kenya came up very strongly. They couldn't miss a word. Every other time when they stood, Mulcomen, Junior, others, about how they indeed fought for some of the issues that we're enjoying today. When I joined the university some time back, and I made samples of several classes, one year son, Professor Mehilest in peace, I heard him say, "How do you know what you know is what you know?" I moved out of that class and went to another one, where I was taught politics 101, and I was told politics is who gets what, when, and how. At the end justifies the means as far as resources which are scarce in politics is concerned. So let us share the glory, because for those who are on the other better team, the one I call the better team Kenya, if it was not for us standing firm, probably we would not have gotten to 370 that we are today. And indeed, where we are in a Senate, where we are supposed to debate, is so that we can be able to argue cases, agree to agree, and at times agree to disagree. And it is out of that where we come up with better legislation, we come up with better decisions. So I want to pat everybody who participated both during those days when we were coming up with the formula, and indeed those who will now be talking and praising the 370 billion. This is our country, and we must always uphold our virtues, and especially our ethos. I've heard the minority leader come up very strongly on the bandit economy. I think we should also agree there should be honor among thieves. If we are all thieves because he says we are bandits, then we should uphold some honor, that we don't drink, we don't steal even from the sick. We don't steal from the downtrodden society. Let us uphold some certain integrity, and this cuts across all leadership, starting from the counties and national, including even ourselves. We need to call ourselves for a small meeting and ask ourselves, have we lived up to our calling? So, Madam Speaker, without much ado, I want to say I'm happy. I was indisposed, but I was able to midwife my team to come up with this report and request that we support the report. Yes, Madam. Yeah. Yes, that's the question come. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for correctly pointing out to Senator Langat that he'll have opportunity to prove that he's not a thief. I also have that opportunity, Madam Speaker. I am not a thief, and I am not on trial, so I'll not prove whether I'm not a thief or not. Madam Speaker, I want to start by congratulating the senator, the newest senator. I'm happy that we have Haji. One Haji exits and another comes in. Madam Speaker, this work that has brought what we are discussing today, I want to pay special gratitude to the committee chair, Senator Kibiru. He had to chair one very critical session from the hostel, and that means that he really sacrificed from the hospital to ensure that we made it in time, and we therefore have a report, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, what is important to observe in this report and also in this bill is that as a Senate, we have always believed in the rule of law. We have always believed in the sanctity of the law, and when the court made a decision in the case that was taken to court by the Council of Governors, High Court Petition number 252 of 2016, the court decided at paragraph 72, and allow me to read it, when allocating funds to the county level of government as either a conditional or non-conditional grant, it is expected that the allocation is made from the national level of government share. Secondly, it is trite law from the language used in Article 202 as read together with Article 218, 1A of the Constitution. Conditional or non-conditional grants are not an item to be provided for under the Division of Revenue Act. Madam Speaker, you notice that invariably the National Treasury and the National Assembly have been trying to make conditional grants part of the Division of Revenue Act. The court made its decision, and as a committee we decided to give life to that decision. That decision will go a long way into assisting and defining the mandate of the Senate. The mandate of the Senate under Article 17 is to allocate horizontally funds to counties. It's our responsibility to divide the revenue among counties. So when the national government decides where we are not and where nobody participates, how much to give a county and for what that money should be applied, that is a usurpation of our responsibility. And we thought the court had spoken out loudly on that, and it's important to capture it in the report. So when we will be moving an amendment, that amendment will capture that and will ensure that the power for some faceless characters and non-characters to hide in boardrooms and decide that this money is for mess, and this is how it will be accounted for. It's a usurpation of our authority under Article 217. Madam Speaker, it is also our authority under Article 96, sub-article 3, to oversight funds that are allocated nationally to counties. Madam Speaker, some of these conditional grants do not come through this House, and when they do not come through this House, then how they are implemented minus a clear agreement under Article 191, under Article 190 of the Constitution, as to how that responsibility is defined, how the contract under which the grant has been allocated is defined, we as a Senate are bypassed when it comes to accountability for that money. So this report and in this bill and the proposed amendment, we are proposing to ensure that all monies that are allocated to county are availed for accountability by the Senate. They are also availed for accountability by county assemblies. The county assemblies must look at the budget of the individual county executives and allocate money for various usage or departmental uses. So, Madam Speaker, when the national government in Treasury decide that they are allocating money for something else, the county assemblies are not aware, the Senate is not aware, that becomes problematic. So with those few remarks, I want to support these
Thank you, Senator. Senator of Nairobi on Zoom, Senator Sakaja.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to contribute to the Division of Revenue. Madam Speaker, I want to first just pass on kind regards and compliments from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, to the Parliament and Senate of Kenya. I'm leading a delegation here on labor issues. We have more than 88,000 Kenyans here and a lot to come and report back, and we shall be making that report back to the House. Madam Speaker, additionally, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Senator for Garissa, who was sworn in earlier today in the session we were all in, but we didn't get an opportunity to speak. And we wish him all the best as he takes over from where the late, great Senator Haji, who was a friend to all of us, left off. Madam Speaker, in supporting the Division of Revenue, I've heard what Senator Kibiru has said, and the rest have said. Indeed, getting us to 370 billion was not an easy task. It has come after a long, convoluted process, but a process that indeed is the essence of what Parliament is, because Parliament is to parley, is to debate, it is balance, it is who gets what, and we are glad that, Madam Speaker, if we didn't go through that, it would have taken the Senate of the Republic of Kenya more than I think 10 years, if you look at how the increments have been done over the years, to get to 370 billion. And despite everything that was said, Madam Speaker, I am proud as the Senator of Nairobi that we was able to move Nairobi County from 15 billion to 25 billion and beyond as we move ahead. Madam Speaker, it was worth the sacrifice, and we hope that we can ensure there's full accountability for that money. I want to associate myself with the sentiments of Dr. Ochilo Ayako, Senator for Migori, in terms of the role of the Senate in this process. Madam Speaker, some things must be thought out as a Senate as we move forward. If you look at some of the proposals in the BBI that we indeed support, and I speak for myself that I support, some of the proposals, Madam Speaker, will lead us to really look at what that means in terms of the role of the Senate, especially when it comes to division of revenue. Madam Speaker, we have allocated money to counties. The proposal of capping per capita gives us a problem, because we'll have to come back and amend if it is implementable. And I've held the fact that it is not, because if you remove the amount to 7 counties, because the per capita is more than 3 times the rest or the lowest, then that extra amount of money can only be applied again to all the counties. There is no provision in law. There is no provision where you can divide shareable revenue to less than 47 counties. And Madam Speaker, that is a part that we need to look at, and I'm glad the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee is actually looking at that aspect. Madam Speaker, further to that, because this is part of the process, we've done the BPS, we've done now Division of Revenue, or rather we're doing it, we need to ask ourselves very serious questions as a country. Madam Speaker, if you look at the budget structure right now, from what remains at the top, because many people have been asking, why will the extra 35% come from BBI? It is not an extra 35%. It is Still from the same 100, instead of doing 85, we're now getting more. And counties have been getting, or rather getting allocations that are way beyond that. If you look at the first year of devolution, it was way beyond that. It was, I think, 30%. The next year, it has been above, because we're talking about last audited revenue. But if you look at where we are today, Madam Speaker, in a month, debt servicing is at 53 billion. Salaries and pensions, Madam Speaker, are 52 billion. Operation and maintenance, Madam Speaker, comes to 50 billion. Counties are getting 26 billion. Development budget of the national government is 25 billion, leaving, that's a total of 206 billion a month. Yet we're only raising 120 billion. If you remove the debt servicing, salaries, operation and maintenance, and counties, because that is non-discretionary, that must be done, it's a fast charge to the consolidated fund, then the only amount where we can get a headroom is 25 billion monthly, Madam Speaker. I think the Finance Committee needs to step up and address this issue. Of course, appropriation is done by the National Assembly, but since we are part of this process, we need to come in as the Senate and address the matter of the headroom that we remain with as a county. I've just received, Madam Speaker, today, the Exchequer release report for Nairobi County. And Madam Speaker, if you look at that Exchequer release report, because every quarter we get a report of how much our counties are able to get. When it comes to the approved budget plus the supplementary budget, Madam Speaker, the Exchequer release up until March in Nairobi is still 1.2 billion.
Senator, 30 seconds, because you are long distance.
Is the time less in long distance, or it's more?
It was 5 minutes approved.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think when we're back, we'll debate those things further. But just to say that we still have a lot of work to do. I hope during this time of Corona, we can still be able to be accountable and play our oversight role as a House. But I support the Division of Revenue, and I look forward to better days as a House. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and God bless you all. And to our Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan Kareem, Saum Makbul.
Thank you, Senator, and travel safe. Senator Ongeri Samson Gegengo, while Senator Engineer Minor prepares on Zoom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me also weigh in on this Division of Revenue Bill of 2021-2022. One of the striking features on this DORA is the fact that the conditional grants that had hitherto been taken by the National Treasury and given particular road maintenance levy, the agricultural sector, and the level 5 hospital sector have now been transferred as conditional grants to be substantive budgets for the county governments. And that's why you see some of this figure going up. I would have anticipated that initially there should have been a straightforward increase on shareable revenue from the national government. But what they have done is to juggle around with the figures and therefore take some of the functions that hitherto have been under the conditional grants to be as part of the shareable revenue, which in effect should have been the case because functions, we know that functions follow resources, and therefore that has been our position in the past. Therefore, any shareable revenue must be able to be accountable on the basis of Schedule 4 of the Constitution, which has already allocated functions of the county governments that must be carried out safely and timely. My biggest worry is that the ballooning debt burden for this country is skimming away any amount that may be available as shareable revenue. And I think it's an area that we need to look at on the debt management, the public debt management for this country, because it's only given to a few individuals who sit somewhere and agree what must go where and where. And I think sooner or later, as a Senate and as a country, we must be able to rein in on because what is left after skimming off the consolidated fund services from the consolidated fund services, the public debt and the pensions, there's very little left for us to be able to share as shareable revenue to the counties. And thirdly, one of the elements that is limiting us in getting the additional resources is the last audited account. At the moment, we're dealing with 2016-2017, when the budget provisions are 1.7 trillion shillings. That was the projected budget. Currently, the government is budgeting above 3 trillion Kenya shillings. And that has given them the appetite to borrow more so that they can be able to cover that hole. And consequently, the money that is going to come will be spending on redeeming the debt burden rather than going to the development of county governments in a much more timely fashion. I have a problem, Madam Speaker, with the money, the way the money is being released by the Exchequer. It's appearing as if it is a punishment to the county governments, that they must beg, they must wait, they must do all manner of things to be able to release that money to the county governments. Currently, as we stand today, 78 billion Kenya shillings has not been released to the county governments. What is the National Treasury doing? And yet, we have been able to give out on the basis upon which each county is able to get their share of revenue. And we have been able to, they have also been able to make budgets that have been passed by the county assemblies, and they are waiting for this money to be expended. And from the position where I sat last time as the chair of Public Accounts Committee, one of the things I noted, which was repugnant to the smooth running of county governments in this country, is that the money was being released very late as 30th of June, or if anything else, they will hold on the window of opportunity, and some of them was being released as late as 4th and 5th of January, requiring that the county governments have got to go over again and do a supplementary budget to be able to cater for this. And I would like that element to be taken care of, that eventually people must get the timely disbursement of funds so that they can be able to apply their budgets, and the control.
It's done. Thank you, Senator. Senator of Nyeri, Senator Ephraim Maina, online. Senator, please unmute. We cannot hear you.
And now?
Now we can hear you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I start by welcoming Senator Haji, and to say that following in the footsteps of his father, we are all very confident that he will perform very well, and the people of Garissa will see continued good leadership. Madam Speaker, then may we on the issue of these funds to the counties. Truly, the Senate is mandated to have the central role of actually adjudicating funds to the counties, and they also oversighting the same funds. And Madam Speaker, I must say, as we pass this bill, Madam Speaker, we must not forget that we still feel handicapped in our main law of oversight. Madam Speaker, it's one thing to give money. It's another thing to ensure that money goes into good use, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are aware of the stealing going on in this country, both at the national level and at the county level, Madam Speaker. The resources that, the taxpayers' money that is going to the counties, if it was put into the real use for Wajiko, ordinary mwananchi, health, agriculture, education, Madam Speaker, this country today would be seeing tremendous development. But Madam Speaker, I am sorry to state that is not the case. Madam Speaker, it is on record that this country loses $20 million every day. That is, in a year, about 730 billion 730 billion Kenya shillings, which is close to $1 billion, Madam Speaker. That is colossal sums of money, which could do a lot, Madam Speaker. And I think, truly, the Senate should actually be strengthened, should have at least the oversight funds, so that a senator can be able really to follow the money that is allocated to the counties and see where it goes. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, we sometimes remain witnessing the Prada and the greed that is going on, and we are incapacitated by the little money that we should be having for oversight. I feel this is something that this country have to sort out, and the moment it's sorted out, the better, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me weigh in also that our country is going through the COVID crisis, Madam Speaker, and I would beseech counties that, at least for now, let them cast their eyes onto the health sector in their counties, so that our people who are actually struggling and who are actually in misery when they fall sick can have hope. There are other diseases as well which need to be attended, Madam Speaker. I would wish the funds we are voting go into those use, Madam Speaker. You go in some counties, I hear there are some counties where they have gone to the extent of putting Wi-Fi in mortuaries. And I wonder, what does that mean really? Madam Speaker, because they are preoccupied with spending the money for development, construction, where they are definitely loopholes into getting something back, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me say that we as Senate, we are committed, and looking at most of the people, we are committed to the welfare and to the goodness of this country. We are committed to devolution. We are committed to devolution that will give services to the ordinary mwananchi. We are committed to sweeping the hose of seepage in this country so that Kenya can stand as the country that we all envisage. Madam Speaker, I might also state that it is important for funds to be voted, once voted, to be dispersed to the counties so that they can, the few that are thinking of doing good to Mwananchi can be able to do good. Madam Speaker, thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. And please, senators who are online, don't go far because we are going to vote. Senator Inima Gertrude Musulve.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to support this bill. And Honorable Speaker, it is actually well-meaning and in good tune that both the National Assembly and the Senate are agreeing on this bill. And the concurrence is very important, Honorable Speaker, because at the end of the day, when the bill passes, it will be a legal instrument, it will be in law, and it can be quoted any time, and it will help ensuring that money is allocated to counties. Honorable Speaker, even as we talk about money going to counties, it is just important that money goes to counties at the right time to avoid a backlog of having to clear any pending bills in county governments, and to ensure that money is also used at the time that it is required. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that it is also good that the bill is speaking on the issue of sharing revenue among the national county and the county governments. And even as it talks about sharing this money, it also talks about the equalization fund, which is very important to ensure that counties that are lagging behind, regions that are lagging behind, are also upgraded, Honorable Speaker. Because as a Senate, our concern is to ensure that services reach wananchi. And it is just important, Honorable Speaker, that when this money reaches the counties, it is used well. It is not wasted, and it is not used for wrong purposes. Because as a Senate, our thinking and the passion we have is to ensure that wananchi get services, Honorable Speaker. And I want to speak also, Honorable Speaker, about the issue of the grants, conditional grants. It is just also in good breath that the conditional grants are also not in the bill, because it is not possible to really account for all the grants, Honorable Speaker. When you allocate money from the Senate, it is on us to ensure that we see how the money has been used, that the money is accounted for. And even the money that passes from here can be accounted for in the county assemblies, Honorable Speaker. And it can be oversighted from the Senate. It can be oversighted also from the county governments, Honorable Speaker. But when it comes to grants, sometimes it is uncertain about some monies. You see, when it's given, who oversights? Because we are supposed to allocate funds, then we make a follow-up to see and confirm that the usage of the money corroborates with the amount of money we have actually taken to the counties, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, as we talk about monies going to the counties, it is just important that county governments ensure that no one is left behind, that a certain amount of money behind to ensure that children with disabilities get quality education, Honorable Speaker. So it is just important that assessment centers are also built in all counties. That is the beginning of ensuring that we are supporting children with disabilities in academia. And even after equipping the assessment centers, there's need also to give the human resource, Honorable Speaker. There's need to equip also schools for children with disabilities, because, Honorable Speaker, their voice needs to be heard. And when you're talking about equalization fund, it should also go to all counties, and it should also be able to support children with disabilities, because when it comes to academics, they are low in academia. When it comes to academics, priority is not given to them, Honorable Speaker. So I support this bill, and I hope that when money is added to go to the counties, that money will also be set aside to ensure that children with disabilities are not left behind. To ensure also we invest in early childhood education, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as a country, when you're talking about anything, if we have not invested in early childhood, then, Honorable Speaker, we are not doing well as a country, because we must start with good foundation. And, Honorable Speaker, early childhood is the bedrock of education. So even if we talk about matters education, we have not prioritized early childhood. Honorable Speaker, we are not being fair. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to say that we must prioritize health, Honorable Speaker, because there are counties that are really suffering. You'll find that people are suffering. They do not know what to do concerning their health.
Time is up, Senator Haniri George.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for the opportunity to make my comments on this bill. And at the very outset, allow me to hail our Committee on Finance and Budget for the expeditious way in which they handled this bill. Madam Speaker, you'll remember that this bill was only read for the first time in this House on the 30th of March, which is barely 2 weeks ago. And Madam Speaker, the team has in that short period managed to dispense of the bill. They have met all the stakeholders, including the Attorney General, the National Treasury, the Council of Governors, the County Assembly Forum, and other non-state actors in that short period. We must hail them for the good job that they have done. And Madam Speaker, support the very important amendments that they have introduced, which will be coming in the committee stage. Madam Speaker, the Division of Revenue Bill is one of the most important roles of this House. In fact, it's one of our cardinal responsibilities as a House. When we go to our various counties and tell Mwananchi and everybody that we are the ones who bring money, this is it. This is it, Madam Speaker. It is at this stage that we play a major role in ensuring that counties get sufficient monies and resources to run their government. Madam Speaker, it should not be lost to us that the gains that we are getting is after the fight that we put in last year, and particularly those of us who are in the Team Kenya. I want at this stage to thank the members of Team Kenya, and particularly those who were from the counties that were gaining initially, but decided to stand with the rest of Kenyans and the rest of the counties that were losing, telling the government that it is possible that we can have a win-win situation. I want to thank Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, Senator Malala, Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Senator Langat, Senator Cheruiyot, and all those who are gaining, but then they decided to stand with us who are losing. Who? The late Kabaka, and may his soul rest in peace, the former senator for Machakos. Madam Speaker, it is because of the effort and the war that we fought at that stage that we managed to push this shareable revenue from 319 million to 370, gaining a whooping 50 billion Kenyan shillings. It is because of that that I managed to fight for Vihiga to gain a whooping 414 million Kenyan shillings, Madam Speaker. From 4.6, they were losing to 4.2, 4.4, but now Vihiga is going to get 5 billion. That's an additional 600 million, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to hail that team for the stand that they took and the perseverance that they put in. But as we pass this bill, Madam Speaker, let me echo the words of Senator James Orengo, that it is absolutely important that Treasury ensures timely disbursements of funds to our counties. Madam Speaker, this is expressly provided for in our Constitution, and in particular Article 219 of our Constitution. And year in, year out, the Treasury and the national government have flouted this particular article of the Constitution. It is our role as the Senate to stand firm and ensure that the national government and Treasury, for that matter, adheres to that article of the Constitution, that is Article 219, which states that money should expressly be disbursed to the counties when it's due. Madam Speaker,
Senator Gerargai Samson Gibrotich.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to say that, as my colleagues have said, this is one of the important process that we have as a Senate. Madam Speaker, two things just I will mention in the interest of time, and all of us, Madam Speaker,
Senators,
in
please
300
console in low tones. A member is contributing.
Madam Speaker, that there is a significant improvement of 370 billion, but we have expressed reservation because we didn't know the government would go ahead and commingle with even road maintenance levy fund to raise this. We thought the additional 53.5 billion would be directly shared from equitable shareable revenue. Madam Speaker, I'm happy because I was one of the biggest supporters of increment to counties and under division of revenue and third basis generation formula. And it was an honor to serve in the special committee that we resolved the stalemate that we faced, Madam Speaker. And I'm happy that Nandi is gaining 1.4 billion additional from what they have been getting through equitable sharing revenue, Madam Speaker. And I think it is very important. Madam Speaker, my only concern is that we have been having World Bank support through infrastructural support. But unfortunately, World Bank has not been doing a lot to ensure that the counties who get money in terms of infrastructure improvement also ensure, Madam Speaker, that that money is used within the provisions of the law. And we have a bill to World Bank and their country directors that it as much that these are grants and donations to improve in our counties, they must come up and ensure that counties do adhere to the rule of law and that is guided upon, Madam Speaker. Secondly, Madam Speaker, under Article 219 of the Constitution, it is very clear this issue of late disbursement to counties is an elephant in the room. And I don't know why the current CS is having a problem with disbursement. I remember when the former CS was in office, every 5th of every month, all counties would have gotten the money. And you remember the COG chair, the Council of Governors did complain that 52 billion Kenya shillings up to now is being owed by the counties. And Madam Speaker, we are almost coming to an end of the financial year, and counties are still being owed 52 billion. We also, in as much as we demand that the counties account for the money they are given, we must have timely disbursement to counties so that our people can get the necessary services that we need, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the third point I want to make is on the ballooning public debt. I did see the proposals that were tabled in the National Assembly. It is unfortunate that there is a lot of money that is being used to service public debt. As you are aware, Madam Speaker, we are approaching 7.1 trillion, and the word on the corridors of Parliament has it that the CS in charge of Treasury might be pushing to raise the debt ceiling to 12 trillion. Madam Speaker, the ballooning debt will continue to affect our development agenda in this country. And I'm happy that I'm among the 7 senators who did refuse the rising of the public debt to around 9 trillion. And that, Madam Speaker, we must look at the terms of collection. And even, Madam Speaker, even as we look at Kenya Revenue Authority, I heard the new president of Tanzania said something simple but serious. President Samia Suluhu, by saying, even if you have to collect tax, you must not kill that business. But what we are seeing here in Kenya, Madam Speaker, you see KRA are killing kiosks, are killing industries like Keroche, the bread and bone in Kenya industries. You see Bidco is now relocating to Uganda. Madam Speaker, I think those are some of the serious points that KRA must try in as much as they are looking for more revenue. They must look in a way that they will ensure that we get value for our money. Madam Speaker, finally, on the issue of, even as we talk about division of revenue, we want to encourage counties to give subsidies to farmers. As we talk now, North Rift is experiencing rains. We have not seen subsidized fertilizers. We have not seen subsidized inputs that we should build. And I think to ensure that we don't rise up in terms of inflation, Madam Speaker, we must have North Rift that is food sufficient, even as we recover from the COVID, Madam Speaker. And therefore, I want to challenge and call upon that the government must come out strongly and ensure that we give subsidies and farm inputs. Especially, I want to encourage counties that come from our region to ensure that they give subsidies to farmers. Madam Speaker, I thank you and support this report with amendments that have been proposed by the committee.
Thank you, Senator. Online, we have Senator Moses Kajwang.
Senator Abdul Haji to the House. And also, I want to thank the Committee on Finance, led by Senator Charles Kibiru, who I am aware was running the committee from a not very comfortable bed, and I wish him speedy recovery. Madam Speaker, I also wish to thank a young Kenyan called Robert Wakungwi Sakwa. This was the only individual who appeared before the Finance Committee to provide his views as part of public participation on the Division of Revenue Bill. And Madam Speaker, we need to get concerned that when you look at the list of people who came for public participation, it is the usual faces, the National Treasury, ISPAC, International Budget Partnership. We need to get concerned when the Council of Governors is not taking part in the conversation on division of revenue. Because it cannot be that since they discussed it at IBEC, then it becomes unnecessary to appear before the Senate. Madam Speaker, I also want to congratulate the entire House, because this is a moment that we should be very proud of ourselves as a Senate. For the first time since I joined this House, we have passed a division of revenue without acrimony and without fighting with the National Assembly or without fighting with the executive. Madam Speaker, we have succeeded to increase the equitable share from 316 to 370 billion, a 17% increment. As a result, my people of Homa Bay are going to get from 7 billion, they are going to get at least 8.3 billion that will be directed towards development. And I know because of the formula that we adopted, which was progressive, which was service-oriented, each county is going to benefit from this 17% increased allocation. However, we must be careful of the paradox of plenty, Madam Speaker. The paradox of plenty that simply states that the more resources you have, the poorer you become. County governments must resist the temptation that since now they have 50 billion shillings more, that this is the time for outgoing governors to erect statues and monuments and to come up with prestige projects in the name of legacy. Madam Speaker, I want to urge the national government and the county government, and as I chair the devolution committee, this is one of the issues we want to put on the table. Time is ripe for a national budget and economic conference so that the national government and county governments can have a convergence of budget priorities. Madam Speaker, a lot of the county fiscal strategy papers and the resulting budgets were done on business as usual basis. COVID has had a very biting impact on small businesses and has disrupted livelihoods across counties. And this would be the time for government at both levels, because Kenya is a unitary state still. It would be the time for us to look at the budget priorities across all the counties and across the national government, and to ensure that the bulk of our budget goes towards health, the bulk of our budget goes towards reigniting the informal sector. This is one issue that I think that even if there are other important priorities in this country like constitutional review, but a national economic and budget conference is extremely important so that we do not end up with further wastage on the 50 billion shillings that we are sending to the counties. Madam Speaker, the conditional grants, and I've heard Senator Cherargei has talked about it. Initially, we had made the proposal that the Road Maintenance Levy Fund, or the so-called RMLF, should not be commingled with equitable share, because previously, when it came as a conditional grant, it was much easier to oversight those funds. When we had a meeting with the Council of Governors, they were also not decided on whether RMLF should be part of equitable share or it should remain as a conditional grant. Be that as it may, Madam Speaker, I am still glad that this money is going to counties. I just want to urge the county assemblies that the funds that were previously going into maintenance of roads and road networks in counties should be clearly delineated and proper accountability mechanism should be put in place. Finally, Madam Speaker, this DORA, we have again increased the allocation to the managed equipment scheme by 1 billion Kenya shillings. And I've seen the finance committee has...
Senator, your time is up. Your time is up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support.
Yes, Senator Mutula Jr.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the Division of Revenue Bill. The committee has sat painstakingly about this issue. Madam Speaker, I want to say that fortunately, the work that we did last year on the formula has borne fruit in terms of shareable revenue. The only portion, Madam Speaker, which I would like to just highlight is the conditional grants. And Madam Speaker, I've reiterated that conditional grants have given our committee endless problems. Endless because, Madam Speaker, there is no policy or framework on conditional grants, when they are negotiated, why they are negotiated, and to how they are given to counties, respective counties. And I will just pick two. The conditional grant on medical leasing equipment, if the proposal by the court was low, would not have been done in the way it was done. The second one is a conditional grant about water towers. I've said this before. Madam Speaker, no Kenyan would sit in a meeting to negotiate a conditional grant of a water tower and leave the Mau Forest. It's not possible. It's not Kenyan. That is a foreigner who doesn't understand that the protection of the Mau Forest has led to, in fact, a water phenomenon in Baringo and Nakuru. It is the protection of that water tower. So therefore, Madam Speaker, the judge in civil case number 252 did us a favor. The favor in this respect, that if we get a bill into this Senate with how conditional grants are done, when they are done, how they are sent to counties, and how we oversight, the committee led by Senator Ochilo Ayako, a gentleman I have admired for a long time, since I appeared before him in the year 2000 as a young man, and he really harassed my late father. As then, when he was a public investment committee, we have never had a better chairperson, a person who, in fact, has history of audit. And therefore, these conditional grants are something that should worry us as senators. Whether this Senate or the next one. In 2012, World Bank did a report on conditional grants, even before the advent of devolution. And they said one of the biggest threats to the functions under Schedule 4 is conditional grants. That government will claw back on these functions by engaging in conditional grants without the input of counties. That is solved, Madam Speaker, by the ruling of the court in petition number 252 of 2016. I could not have been happier as a Senate in this House to have first a footing on Division of Revenue and Advisory 2 of 2013, and now an extra footing on conditional grants through petition number 252 of 2016, and an additional footing in legislation under petition number 284 of 2019. It's good to be a senator of this republic, Madam Speaker. I support the amendments, Madam Speaker, and I hope all senators will see our reason in finding a bill that would ensure that there is equity in conditional grants. I support. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kimani Wamatangi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise also to support the Division of Revenue Bill passage, Madam Speaker, this afternoon. And so that we don't become repetitive, Madam Speaker, I want to go straight to the few issues that I may want to highlight, Madam Speaker. And that being that, Madam Speaker, there has been a misconception, largely, because when national government gets its allocation, in this case, which the government is getting about 1.7 trillion, Madam Speaker, and county governments about 370 billion, then it is assumed that the implementation and utilization of these funds should be parallel. And Madam Speaker, you find that projects that are being implemented in the country, Madam Speaker, because every project is in a county, whether it is being implemented by national government or by county government. And the running and implementation and utilization of these funds in a parallel method, Madam Speaker, has resulted in us having so many projects that never get finished.
Honorable Senator, I would like to notify Senator Wambua to be ready after yourself.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I hope my time has been held for that short time. Anyway, Madam Speaker, my concern largely is that unless we have a symbiotic implementation whereby national government consults with county governments and vice versa, Madam Speaker, and especially because both levels hold their meetings and engagements at the summit, Madam Speaker, they should be able to share the projects that they have and the areas of concern, Madam Speaker, so that there is that symbiotic concurrence and implementation of projects, Madam Speaker. And the other issue, Madam Speaker, that I may want to highlight, as a member of the Senate, a house that is empowered by Article 96 of the Constitution on the question of prudent expenditure of resources, Madam Speaker, we have to urge county governments to ensure that they prioritize usage of these funds to the most needed sectors of the economy of our county governments, Madam Speaker. Namely, to begin with health, and especially at this time when the country is battling coronavirus, Madam Speaker, as a pandemic. And supposing, Madam Speaker, we did not have the funds that were being availed to county governments as special funds, Madam Speaker, what would happen? And I think that must be a learning process for county governments to ensure that with the resources they get now, they have to start thinking independently and planning independently, Madam Speaker, such that because it is unpredictable how this virus will behave after, that they should be prepared, Madam Speaker. We should have an end, Madam Speaker, to this question of there being riots and revolts and strikes by health workers in county government, Madam Speaker. Doctors, nurses, the next thing then again a repeat of doctors. This is something that county governments also must think about, Madam Speaker, and deal with from their own internal planning, Madam Speaker. And it takes resources because that's the main bone of contention, Madam Speaker. In agriculture, Madam Speaker, if we would be urging anything important to our county governments is to ensure that they enrich and enhance their core, Madam Speaker. Meaning that each county government should be looking at what is the strength of that county government, Madam Speaker. In a county government where the mainstay of their people is livestock farming, Madam Speaker, that is where the county government should focus. Are we going to employ our resources here, and what do we need to do to make this better? If it is an agricultural county, Madam Speaker, where, for example, like in Wasin Gishu and other areas, Madam Speaker, people grow maize. Think out and ask yourself, how can we empower people? Madam Speaker, in my own county of Kiambu, our people are small-scale farmers and business people. What is it that the county government should do to deploy those resources to empower, Madam Speaker, and multiply and build capacity for the people at county governments, Madam Speaker? And I think this is what we need to be talking about, Madam Speaker, when we are encouraging our county governments to ensure that these resources are spent prudently, Madam Speaker. On the question of corruption, Madam Speaker, this is a subject that we can never exhaust. Madam Speaker, from the corona funds, the COVID-19 funds that were allocated to county governments, Madam Speaker, that should be utilized to fight the coronavirus, Madam Speaker, the report of the Auditor General has not only been loud, it has been vindictive, that these funds have been not only misused, plundered, it has been outrightly stolen, Madam Speaker. And it worries me, Madam Speaker, to think that as we have continuously complained here as a House, that we sit behind, Madam Speaker, the process, such that we can never be able to stop the crime. But how is it even more worse, Madam Speaker, that indeed the Auditor General's report is now the only tool that is used to fight corruption? It is the only report that people wait for to be able to judge how our counties working, Madam Speaker. And it is in this respect, and as I laud my colleagues in this House, because I know we have worked under very difficult circumstances, because since inception, the Senate in 2013 up to today, we have never had a single penny allocated to the Senate to fight and ensure that oversight is carried out properly, Madam Speaker. But nevertheless, senators have done the best they could under the circumstances. But we should get out of our way, Madam Speaker, and now start asking ourselves, what else are we supposed to do, Madam Speaker, to ensure that plundering and theft and corruption at county governments, Madam Speaker, has come to an end? As I finalize, Madam Speaker, I see my time is almost up. We also need to urge governors and the management at county government level to rethink again, to stop incurring more pending bills at county governments, Madam Speaker. Because this is not only a way that...
Senator, your time is up.
Okay, Madam Speaker, I support.
Honourable members, I would like to have your indulgence on two issues. First of all, you know we have 3 votes to take, and it's a very critical bill. That's the reason we were called for this special sitting. So I would like to urge all the members who are online, please keep logging in and don't log out, because we'll need you in a few minutes. Secondly, we would like to have all the members make their comments. But at the rate of 5 minutes, it's like everybody wants to speak. I don't know if we can reduce it to 3 minutes or leave it at 5. We leave it at 5? We are like 16 more people, members, yes. 16. We leave it at 5. Is that the mood of the House? Yes. So the mood of the House says 5 minutes, so we'll go by that.
Order,
so
Madam
that
Speaker.
we take the vote.
Point of order. Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Yes, what's the point of order, Senator? Senator Ali.
If we continue that way, then some of us will not be able to talk. So I prefer the 3 minutes so that at least we have 1 or 2 words to say. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
It is very clear, but we must go by the mood of the House and the circumstances surrounding this sitting. We don't want people to drop out and miss the voting, Senator. We will give you the 5. We will give you the 5 minutes, but let's go by 3 minutes. I will give you 5 minutes. Yeah, because the mood of the House is that we reduce the time. Senator Wambua.
I thank you, Madam Speaker. So I don't know whether now it's 5 minutes, it's 3 minutes. I need to be guided, Madam Speaker.
Senator, can continue. It is 3 minutes. Continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to also contribute to this Division of Revenue bill. In support of this bill, Madam Speaker, I want to thank the committee led by Senator Kibiro for doing a very good job and getting us where we are today. Madam Speaker, because I have 3 minutes, I'll be very, very brief. I will say one, Madam Speaker, on the issue of the exchequer release to county government, it has been said by many of my colleagues that, Madam Speaker, it's only 2 months to the end of the 2020-2021 financial year, and yet so much money is still held by the National Treasury, money which is supposed to be undertaking projects in the counties. Madam Speaker, we are not requesting, I think we should be directing that the National Treasury must be bound and guided by the rule of law in terms of exchequer releases to county governments for proper execution of projects. Secondly, Madam Speaker, though I support the work done by the committee, Madam Speaker, I have a big problem on the issue of the Roads Maintenance Levy Fund, the RMLF, being used as part of shareable revenue to counties, because, Madam Speaker, that will definitely occasion a lot of delays in roads constructions, in maintenance, and our roads network in the country, Madam Speaker, would definitely be affected. Madam Speaker, I want to associate myself with the comments of Senator Orengo when he speaks about the bandit economy that this country of ours has. Talking about the thieves in the county governments and the thieves that steal 2 billion Kenya shillings every day from President Uhuru Kenyatta's government. Madam Speaker, we should stop just addressing these thieves. We must be seen to be taking action against theft of public resources, and especially at a time like this, Madam Speaker, when the economy is really suffering from the COVID-19 pandemic. Those governors that we fight for to get money, and they spend money on projects that are of zero benefit to the public, Madam Speaker, must be held to account. Madam Speaker, with those few remarks, I support.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Eric Okongo Mugeni.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, I want to thank the committee for this very good report, and also, Madam Speaker, take this opportunity to wish the chair of this committee good speed in his recovery. And I read in the papers yesterday that he's such a committed chair that he conducted the business, the last business of this committee, from his hospital bed. To Madam Speaker, I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate Senator Abdul Haji for his election as the senator for Garissa. And I hope, Madam Speaker, that the good senator will ably wear the shoes of senior Haji, the late Senator Haji, who stood with this country the last time we were trying to fight for equity and fairness in distribution of money to counties. Madam Speaker, I also want to say that as a Senate, we should be proud of ourselves, Madam Speaker. This is the first time, Madam Speaker, that the money being shared to counties under DORA has hit 370 billion. This is the very first time in the history of our country under devolution. Madam Speaker, we must also say that we fully support the good work that is being done by the judiciary. Madam Speaker, you had a mention of petition number 252 of 2016, where the High Court ruled that conditional grant cannot be part of the shareable revenue that goes to counties, and that if the national government wants to give conditional grants to counties, it should be from the share of the government part of the budget. Madam Speaker, if we don't tackle this invincible enemy facing this country called corruption, we will continue sending more money to counties, but you will never see any impact on the ground, Madam Speaker. As we speak today, Madam Speaker, several counties are not even able to test COVID. I can speak for my own county of Nyamira, the neighboring county of Kisii. Yet, Madam Speaker, we saw a lot of money was given by the government to counties to fight COVID. Where did this money go? Madam Speaker, as senators, we must really pull our socks in terms of oversighting the money that goes to our counties.
Senator, your time is up. Senator Haji Faria Ali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Madam Speaker, on onset, I just wish to thank our President, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, for increasing the revenue to counties by 53.5 billion. Madam Speaker, I also want to ask our colleagues in National Assembly to fast track the passage of Equalization Fund Bill, because, Madam Speaker, it is almost 11 years since our Constitution was passed. Equalization Fund had only a lifetime of 20 years, where by August it will be 11 years since the Constitution was passed. And Madam Speaker, I think this is not fair for people who are affected by these funds. And I wish to thank National Treasury for all the time allocating these funds. But the usage of these funds require a passage of that bill. Madam Speaker, and this by giving counties 370 billion, we have increased the amount by 27.3% compared to the last audited account of 1.4 billion by National Assembly. Madam Speaker, from also the revenue, we also got an additional funding from other departments of around 36.1 billion that was taken from some departments and plowed back to counties, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the other thing I wanted to clarify is that COG was represented as part of public participation through their finance committee. So I just wanted to make that correction since I sit in this committee. Madam Speaker, the other comment I wanted to make is about public debt. Madam Speaker, Kenyans, you know, it is our nature that we complain about public debt, we complain about additional taxation, but we want the water, we want electricity, we want, and Madam Speaker, I think we need to congratulate our CS for finance this time round. Because given the kind of depression the whole world is facing, Kenya was able to grow by 0.6%, Madam Speaker. Others were depressed. The other thing that I want to bring the attention of the senators, because my time will be limited, is that there is a big problem with ECDs in the counties, Madam Speaker. And part of the problem is this is a research, according to a research that was done by ISPAC.
Senator, your time is up, and I would like to urge members, please just put your act together. In 3 minutes, you should be able to articulate your issues. Senator Hargura.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this very important bill, which is one of the main functions of this House. Madam Speaker, I'd like to state that on the issue of disbursement of funds to the counties, this bill is very clear because Clause 5 has always been there, and it has always stated that whatever funds are collected, if there is under collection, the share of the county should not be affected. Then Article 219 of the Constitution also states that the national government must disburse funds to the counties without undue delay. But it has not been so. So the delays of funding to the counties is actually it's against the law, so it's something which Treasury has to realize that they have been contravening the law all this time. Madam Speaker, the other one is the issue of inclusion of RMLF in the equitable share. RMLF is part of is a fund which was actually developed because with the time roads were being constructed, but they were just quickly deteriorating because there was no maintenance mechanism. It was an agreement between the World Bank and the government of Kenya that the government has to raise funds to maintain the roads which they are borrowing money to construct. Now we have decided to kind of conveniently lose that memory, and part of this money, which is supposed to maintain Class D roads and below, is now being given to the counties unconditionally so that they can use and allocate it in the manner they deem fit. That means that 5 years or so down the line, we'll be in the same situation that roads to be constructed and maintained by the counties will deteriorate, and we'll start now going back to the same issue of how do we maintain roads in the counties, while the national government is maintaining the roads under its purview from Class C and above. So we need to look at why we are giving these funds to the counties, because from now onwards, KRB will not be able to oversight that fund because there is no requirement that it has to be used for road construction. It will be used for anything else, even paying salaries. The other one is the issue of the equalization fund. The drafters of the Kenyan Constitution 2010 knew very well that some parts of this country have been marginalized due to the sessional paper number 10 of 1965. That is why this fund was introduced. Now, for the last 11 years, that fund has not been used. And after the next 9 years...
Senator, your time is up. Senator Lokorio Petronila, as Senator Mohammed gets ready online.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will only handle 2 issues because of the time limit of 5 minutes. Otherwise, I would have spoken for much, much longer. I will tackle 2 issues. One is the conditional grants that have now been lumped together under the shareable revenue. And Madam Speaker, initially it was easier to oversight particular allocations. When you say this allocation is for village polytechnics, the other one is for level 5, as overseers both at the county level and the national level, which is the Senate, it was made easier. I know they have quoted the Commission for Revenue Allocation as having advised that since functions are being followed by funds, or funds are following functions at the county level, that was necessary these conditions be lumped together. But I'm happy that the committee has made this amendment, and we shall be supporting it. Secondly, Madam Speaker, I would like to talk about the accountability at the county level. Now that we have given them this money, would like that they spend it wisely, reduce cases of pilferage. As much as we have been told time immemorial, that 30% of our budget always goes to pilferage or corruption. And this has happened even before devolution came. So we want to encourage our leadership at the county level, the governors, to help us reduce this percentage that goes to corruption, so that we are not told that we devolved corruption as well. So, Madam Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Mohammed, online.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving the opportunity to contribute to this Additional Revenue Bill 2021. Madam Speaker, this bill relates to the very important role of the mandate of the Senate. It will be very, important that this bill is given enough time so that members can actually debate and interrogate all the issues that are raised within the bill, including, of course, the debt reduction strategy. But now that we're there in the special session, I would like to support the report, and I thank the members of the committee. We were in this committee before, and I thank them for the good work they have done now. Madam Speaker, I would like to congratulate ourselves as senators for the good work we did last year. Had we not stood firm, had we not been able to actually stay firm and say that you cannot reduce funds to the counties, we will not be where we are today. The executive, of course, did at that time try his best to twist the Senate, but they didn't manage. In fact, then he realized, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, that we are very strong as a team. We work together as a team. If we get united for the sake of this country, if we get united for the sake of the mandate of the Senate, so that the senators work together, we can achieve a lot. Little did we know that at that time that the national government can promise an extra 53 billion shillings to the Senate. That has happened now, and in fact, we have this bill today, which is proposing 370 billion to the counties. But again, the executive is trying to commingle things that are not supposed to be mingled together. Two issues. Level 5 maybe is not supported by legal, legal backing, but the issue of fuel levy, for which there is a Road Maintenance Fuel Levy Act, for which that money is supposed to be used for road maintenance and road rehabilitation. It is not acceptable that you can lump that together and commingle it with the share revenue, so that counties can allocate that money the way they want. This money, which is allocated to counties, normally are earmarked. Work program is sent to KRB, and they actually are done for roads. The way we should bring it out today, this money will be spent the way it's wanted to build houses. I don't accept this. Good that we're getting 370, but 370 is not the reality. Actually, we're being cheated. Please, let's remove that fuel levy money aside and make sure it's actually allocated, even if the money goes below 370. Madam Speaker, the issue of level 5, of course, there are not level 5 hospitals in all the counties. There are only a few of them. If those counties are now going to, that money is going to be now given to everybody equally, how will you manage those level 5 hospitals where a lot of people actually go there because the population, those are 10 hospitals are very many. Madam Speaker, money is allocated to counties every year through CARA, but again, the national section is not allocating money on time to the counties.
Senator,
the national section must give
Senator, please wind up. Your time is up.
The mandate of collecting revenue, the role is done by the national government. It is not by county governments. Please give the counties their money so that they can do their function. And counties must apply the money properly so that there's no corruption.
Thank you, Senator. Your time is up. Senator Matsayo Stewart.
Asante Bispika. Bispika, cha kwanza nataka kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa sababu ya uwezo wake aliofanya mpaka hivi leo tumefikia kilele cha ripoti hii, kwa sababu safari hii ilikuwa ni ya kutoka mbali. Bispika, tuliweza kupigania hizi pesa za ugatuzi ambazo zitakwenda katika serikali zetu za mashinani. Na hatimaye zile kaunti ambazo zilikuwa zinapoteza ziliweza kupata hizo pesa na kuongezwa tena zingine juu, ikiwa mojawapo zikiwa serikali za ugatuzi za jimbo letu la Pwani. Spika, kulinganishana na katiba ya Kenya, kipengele cha 96 kinapatia mamlaka ama majukumu ama uwezo bunge la Senate kuweza kutekeleza wajibu huu, ya kwamba watapigania, watatetea kuona ya kwamba pesa zinazokwenda katika serikali za ugatuzi kote mashinani katika serikali 47 zimeweza kwenda bila uharibifu wa aina yoyote ama kupotea. Spika, hawa maseneta walio hapa walikwenda katika serikali zetu za ugatuzi. Serikali hizi pesa hizi zinahitajika katika hali ya kupeleka madawa, kupeleka maendeleo, kupeleka vitu vingi ambavyo vinaweza kurahisisha maisha ya watu wa kaunti zile wanazokuwa kuwa bora zaidi. Pesa hizi zina maana sana. Spika, vile vile nataka kutoa kama onyo ya kwamba wote wale ambao wanahusika katika kuangalia hizi pesa wazitumie kwa usawa kisawasawa, ili pesa hizi zisiweze kuharibika ama kutumika ovyo ovyo ama kutumika kwa njia ya ufisadi. Spika, hizi pesa ni muhimu kwa sababu ya kuleta miradi mbalimbali katika serikali zetu za kaunti. Spika, tunaona ya kwamba katika serikali za ugatuzi mabarabara yanaweza kutengezwa, mahospitali yanaweza kupata dawa, kina mama wanaweza kupata njia zao za kwenda katika shughuli zao mbalimbali zikiwa zimetengenezwa, na hizi zote zinategemea hizi pesa. Spika, la mwisho ni lazima kuona mahospitali. Hivi juzi tumekuwa na accident kule hivi juzi naona muda wangu umeenda, lakini nataka kusema kule barabara ya Malindi tumeona tumekuwa na ajali mbalimbali.
Senator, your time is up. Senator Halake Apchiro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support this Division of Revenue Bill. In interest of time, I'm going to keep it to two things. Madam Speaker, first of all, I would like to congratulate the committee. They've done a great job in a very short period of time, but also to congratulate this Senate for actually executing their mandate wonderfully. Madam Speaker, this particular Division of Revenue Bill is the first one that is really facing devolution, meaning that we have gone beyond the minimum to provide more revenue to the counties from the shareable revenue. And so at 370, and actually collectively together with the conditional grants at 409.88 billion, that's a very big win for devolution, and I hope that this money will be used properly by our counties. Madam Speaker, in terms of the fight that went into making sure that devolution gains and that devolution is resourced, I'd like to congratulate this House for standing steady and ensuring that counties like Isiolo, for instance, which were losing 800 million shillings, in fact, exactly 869 million shillings, did not lose that amount of money, because that would have meant shutting down most of the services in counties. But there's something that's very peculiar, Madam Speaker, that I have noticed as I was reading this report, is that while the development partners, the conditional grants from loans from development partners are social sectors facing, for instance, support to the healthcare system, support to the universal services, support to education, support to drought resilience programs in northern Kenya, our own resources from the national government, our own locally raised resources, are not really facing these sectors. And I wonder why. Why is it that we use donor money for people facing sectors such as the social sector, but use our own funds for other things? So I think as this House, I think in terms of our oversight, we need to see that the money we raise within our own country is actually serving the people that are most vulnerable, and not leaving it to the development partners who once in a while may withdraw. And we found ourselves in the latest case of the ARVs in this country, where our people that are on first line of ARV medication could not access the commodities because it was mostly being funded by development partners. So this is one area of risk that we see as this House, that this House must actually start to oversight very keenly. Madam Speaker, again, in terms of losses and in terms of the BPS, I know this DORA is based on BPS, and at the time of the development of the BPS, the priorities were perhaps a bit different from what they are now. We're now going into the post-COVID recovery strategy, and I hope our county...
Senator Mwinyi Haji Mohamed.
Asante Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia mswada wa ugawaji wa rasilimali katika muhula wa mwaka 2021-2022. Kwanza Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kujiunga na wenzangu wote ambao wamezungumza kabla yangu kuchangia mswada huu na kwamba ninaunga mkono moja kwa moja mswada huu. Mheshimiwa Spika, donda sugu ambalo liko katika nchi yetu hivi sasa ni ufisadi. Kwa sababu ufisadi umetanda katika kila sehemu ya serikali, ziwe ni serikali za ugatuzi, iwe ni serikali kuu. Na hii ilithibitishwa na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta majuzi aliposema kwamba kwa siku shilingi bilioni 2 zinapotea kwa sababu ya corruption, kwa sababu ya ufisadi. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi kama bunge la Senate katika jukumu letu la kuchunguza na kuangalia serikali, inafaa tufanye mambo zaidi kuliko vile tunavyofanya sasa. Mheshimiwa Spika, ikikumbukwa katika Mombasa majuzi kulizunduliwa daraja la miguu watu kuvuka kutoka upande wa Likoni na kuingia mjini. Mheshimiwa Spika, daraja hii sasa imesababisha watu kuzuiliwa kuvuka kutumia feri kati ya saa 11 alfajiri mpaka saa 2 asubuhi na kuanzia saa 10 jioni mpaka saa 2 usiku. Mheshimiwa Spika, hii imesababisha msongamano mkubwa juu ya daraja lile. Na lile daraja Mheshimiwa Spika, halijachunguzwa na kudhibitiwa lina uwezo wa kubeba watu wangapi kwa wakati mmoja, kwa sababu wale wanaovuka kwa sasa ni wengi sana kulingana na vile ambavyo kumekuwa na uhaba wa vyombo vya usafiri kutoka Likoni kuja mjini. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, tunasema kwamba lile lengo la kuweza kuzuia maambukizi ya corona kwa sasa halitaweza kufikiwa kwa sababu watu wanasongamana na vile vile hawana nafasi ya kuweza kutembea vile walivyokuwa wakitembea awali. Mheshimiwa Spika, jambo lingine ambalo limechangiwa na hii daraja pia ni kwamba biashara hususan meli zinazoingia kuweza kushusha mizigo na kupakia mizigo katika bandari ya Mombasa zimekatizwa pia, kwa sababu kati ya saa 11 alfajiri mpaka saa 2 asubuhi meli zile haziwezi kuingia ndani ya poti na kuweza kufunga na kushusha mizigo. Vile vile inapofika saa 10 jioni meli pia haziwezi kutoka nje ya bandari ya Mombasa. Inasababisha msongamano wa meli katika bandari ya Mombasa, na vile vile pia inaweza kusababisha gharama zaidi iweze kulipishwa zile meli ambazo zinaingia katika bandari yetu ya Mombasa, kwa sababu kila meli ina wakati wake wa kusafiri. Kwa hivyo iwapo usafiri utachelewa, ina maana zile mashirika ya meli yataweza kuweka ile inaitwa delay surcharge kwa bandari ya Mombasa. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, yote imesababishwa na kwamba serikali katika mipango yake haihusishi wananchi kuhusu ile miradi ambao wanapanga kufanya. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, nikimalizia ni kwamba lazima
Senator Dr. Abdullahi Ali online.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I want to thank the Senate for the job it did. Yes, thank you very much. We did a very good job last time. But unfortunately, what we have done will just go through the drain when the BBI passes because of 2 or 3N, as Senator Sahaja mentioned earlier, because of the per capita, because counties like Isiolo, which were losing 400 or 600 or whatever, will lose 1.something billion now. Counties like Tana River will lose 2 billion. So what will be the use of the Senate? What will Article 217 do? Because it will be overridden by Article 2 or 3N when the BBI passes. Madam Speaker, when we talk of resources that follow functions, that is true. We always talk about that. But where the devolution talks about water being devolved, health being devolved, agriculture and many other sectors being devolved. But where is that money? All that money is in headquarters, and in every financial year, the money increases. The Ministry of Health increases by billions, water increases by billions, agriculture increases by billions, and us, our job is just to talk about devolution and devolved functions when no money goes to those areas, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the courts did a good job. They fought for us. They did the right thing. But when other issues come up, we talk about following the law, and things are not done properly. When things are not done properly, this country will not function properly as well. We are talking about corruption, Madam Speaker. Corruption, as the leader of the minority said, this is a country of thieves, true. But the country of thieves who nothing happens to them. Only the ones who steal goats and sheep and hens are the ones who are taken to court, and those are the ones who are taken to jail. But the bigger thieves, nothing happens to them. They sit and eat and enjoy and abuse everybody, center, left, and right, and nothing happens to them. That's why we have KEMSA. That's why we have MESS. With that MESS, we are still increasing the money to 7.something billion. Madam Speaker, is this the way we want this country to go? The president said we are losing 2 billion per day. Where is the DCI? Where is the ESCC? Where is the DPP? Why is action not taken? These guys who are taking 2 billion per day, they should go and rot in committee. And their money, the government should get it back, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Auditor General...
Senator, your time is up.
The Auditor General has mentioned...
Your time is up. Senator Olekina Ledama. We promise to give Olekina 5 minutes.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I rise to support this Division of Revenue Bill. Madam Speaker, from the onset, let me register my appreciation for this Senate and to let Kenyans know out there that this Senate fought for you to be able to get more money. When people ask what does a senator do, when a senator comes and fights for more money. In 2021, Madam Speaker, or 2020-2021 financial year, Narok County was getting 8 billion. But because we passed the revenue formula in this house, Narok County is going to get 8.8 billion. When I sit in my home, I say I've done my job and I'm happy that Narok County will get that money. Madam Speaker, as I support this bill, I'm quite happy with the committee for the recommendation that they have brought, because this bill is much cleaner now. This DORA is much cleaner. I love the recommendation that the committee has proposed, and I'm going to go directly to them, that says total revenue share, national government equalization fund, and county equitable share. County equitable share is 370 billion. I want to correct my colleagues who are saying that we are touching money from conditional grants. No, if the government, the national government wants to give county government from conditional grants, let them bring money from somewhere else. But the money which is going to counties as shareable revenue is 370 billion with the amendment. That's the naked truth. Madam Speaker, one thing that really annoys me is the issue of the equalization fund. As we speak right now, this country is ravaged by this disease called COVID-19. And there are 84 hospitals that have been built in marginalized counties, the counties which are supposed to benefit from the equalization fund, but they are rotting because the national government has not paid the contractors. And you are saying you don't have hospital beds. CS Cargo, instead of promising Kenyans that you are going to get 4 million vaccinations by June, which we know they are not going to come, sit down with these counties, health is devolved, see how they can be able to move that money from Treasury, from the equalization fund, and pay those contractors so that we can create more rooms for the people who are sick. Madam Speaker, as we pass this bill, I want to encourage counties to continue putting more emphasis on raising on-source revenue. Madam Speaker, the majority whip will bear witness with me, and I was given 5 minutes, that I shared, because the speaker rules, not me, that most counties do not really concentrate on on-source revenue. It is about time that you do, because we are all crying here that the national government is not releasing money on time. Madam Speaker, if you look at the Division of Revenue Bill, and I want to welcome my colleagues to go to page 247 and look at column G, the net balance left for national government for this last financial year was a deficit of 161 billion. With money having gone to 370 billion, we might be here sitting down and patting our shoulders and saying we have done a good job as a Senate. But guess what? this country will now have a deficit of 384 billion. What does that translate to? More debt, more taxes. So really, we cannot have our cake, we can't bake it and eat it. We have to be factual. What we are doing here, we are doing a good job in fighting for more money to go to counties. But we also have to be cognizant of the fact that during a pandemic period, when the government cannot raise more money, there's no money that goes to the county governments. So the best thing that county governments can do now is to raise more revenue, on-source revenue, concentrate. And governors, please, now that you know you're not getting the big dollars or the big billions that you're getting from the national government, focus on on-source revenue. Finally, let me correct my aptee, Senator from Wajir. I'm not a proponent of BBI, but if BBI was to pass, Wajir will get 11 billion. It will not lose money. So we have to speak facts. They will help us. Every county will get money, more money. Those are the facts, you know, and you know, the truth has got no shades of gray. So, Madam Speaker, I support this with the amendments, and I congratulate the team that worked really hard to be able to bring the amendments.
Thank you,
Senator.
Senator Christopher Langat, Andrew.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I also stand to support this particular revenue allocation bill? And I want to say that the Senate is doing great work as far as actually fighting for this money to go to our counties. But still, we have got some few challenges that I want to highlight here, Madam Speaker, right from the Treasury. Up to this particular time, if you go to our counties, you are able to see most of the projects that I've stalled, they have become white elephants, and the governors still cry that the Treasury has not released the money on time. So the Senate is doing well, but the challenge is still with the Treasury, Madam Speaker. And I want to say that this particular delay to the dispersion of money by the Treasury to the counties has led even to some of the projects have stalled. Another one is that most of the contractors have failed to get their money. So we have got a lot of money that the contractors have not received. This one should be taken seriously, Madam Speaker, and it should be checked. Another one is that though actually this particular house is empowered by the Constitution according to Article 96(3) to determine the money that goes to the counties. And before the other time, it almost split this particular house into half. I want to say that the greatest challenge is on the oversight. We are the oversight, we are actually in charge of the oversight, but the greatest challenge, Madam Speaker, is that we are not empowered to do that. And the organ that is supposed to do it, the Auditor General, we have always been attending these particular CPIC meetings, and we have realized that even the Auditor General has been delaying so much, so that if you check the audit report that we are going to do right now, is actually an audit report of the last 3 years, when the money already has been misused by the governors and the other people who are concerned with this particular money. Corruption has taken place. People have gone with their money. They have developed themselves instead of the county projects. And I want to say that another problem that should be checked is the delay by the Auditor General. I want to say we have got a lot of challenges. You saw even the other day, I saw it over the news in the Citizen, that the money that we had actually determined to go for fighting the COVID-19 was misused. The governors actually engaged into some dubious contractors.
Senator Pareno Judith Ramaita. Your time is up, Senator.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll try to just do it by point form because the time is so short. First of all, I want to congratulate my brother, Senator Haji. I know for him to have been elected or sworn in even unopposed means that the people of Garissa trust him. And Madam Speaker, The third basis of sharing of revenue has come to be after a long fight by this Senate. I say it's a fight because, you know, we even had our senators arrested so that they don't vote in this House. That was the conclusion of the committee that investigated. So it's a good job by this Senate. Madam Speaker, the increase of 53.3B should not be in vain. It should translate to service delivery to the people, and we expect to see the counties use this money in a way that they shall be happy that this increase has come to be. Madam Speaker, I was with my MCA 2 days ago, Honorable Peshut of Imaroro Ward, and he told me that they have not even received salaries for the last 2 months. So there is no money in the counties because Treasury does not dispense in good time. So we speak of big money and increase, but they keep delaying the services to the people. I hope that this time they'll improve in service delivery. Madam Speaker, on the ruling of the High Court, it was a 2016 High Court ruling. I wonder when they will put in the framework that now will dispense the money in an alternative way and not under division. So I think this House will have a mandate to see that this framework is done. Otherwise, then the conditional grants will be delayed. Madam Speaker, I am saddened, though I will not oppose this because we need money for the county. I feel sad that there is an increase in conditional allocations to the mess, which is a project that we investigated. I was in that ad hoc committee, and now we have increased the allocation by another 1 billion, despite us reporting to this House, a report that was thrown away by this very House, but despite us reporting that there was so much corruption, to an extent that I give one example of a stethoscope costing 5,500 shillings, going for 1.2. It is listed at 4,500 from where it was being listed, but what reflects in our record is that it is listed by 1.2. Corruption at its highest level. I don't know what we'll do with it. Instead of punishing this particular project and the implementation of this project, we increase money by 1 billion. That is sad, Madam Speaker, and I hope that there'll be a way that we can improve the services after this.
Senator Shionga, online.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I don't know if I'm audible enough.
Yes,
Thank you, Madam Speaker,
yes, you are.
for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this motion or the bill. Madam Speaker, I want to start by thanking our newly elected Senator Haji Abdul or Haji Jr. to this House. Feel welcome, most welcome, and we are happy to be with you. Madam Speaker, I would also want to congratulate the committee that has come along to make sure that this bill is discussed in this House and passed, because it's a bill that actually holds together the nation through the national revenue allocation and the counties. Madam Speaker, I would want, it can't go without me discussing about the corruption that we have at this in this country and the disbursement of funds. Madam Speaker, when we have late disbursement of funds, especially those that are going to the county government, then definitely we open up a new tab whereby the corruption takes place. Because then the county gets another loophole of making sure that they fill up these pending bills by using other money that comes in, probably maybe from the grant they get or the partners' donation that they get. And then when this money comes in late, then they have another avenue of using or misusing it. It is the highest time, Madam Speaker, that we need to speak to this country as one, or through one voice. That as much as the Senate has used and has used its time fighting to make sure that funds goes to the county government and be utilized in the development structures that have been put into place. It is not money that is supposed to be used by governors or those people who are down there to be their money for their assets or for their own development. It is not also money for personal use. It is money that needs to improve the livelihood of the county government. I want to reiterate at the point of us having this money doing the right thing. The recommendations that have been passed into this bill are the recommendations that are supposed to go together with what we are discussing here. If we entertain corruption and if we deny this House money to oversight, then we are just still doing injustices to ourselves. But I hope with this that the government will look at the Senate, and in the due course we need to get our money so that we can oversight the money that goes to the county government, and we make sure that development takes place at all levels, both at the national and at the county government. Otherwise, I want again to congratulate the committee for the excellent work they have done, for the excellent observation, and for doing this work in the shortest time possible.
Senator Mwaruma. Senator Mwaruma still online? Yes, leader.
Haji Abdul to the Senate. I wish him well as he joins the Senate of Kenya and serve as he serves the people of Mandera. Secondly, Madam Speaker, I would like to congratulate the Finance Committee for working expeditiously and banning midnight oil under the stewardship of Senator Charles Kibiru, who was indisposed. They've done a very good job to deliver the bill in time. I'd also want to congratulate the Senate of Kenya for working very hard to deliver on their mandate to protect and defend devolution. And in so doing, this DORA, we are taking 70 billion more to the counties. For my county of Taita Taveta, we are getting a DORA or shareable revenue increase from 4.2 billion to 4.8 billion, an increment of 600 million. That is money that would go to development of Taita Taveta County. So we would like to congratulate ourselves as members of the Senate and the Senate of Kenya. However, Madam Chair, allow me to say two things. That the threat to devolution and giving goods and services to our people is the delay in disbursement of money in terms of shareable revenue to our counties. Madam Speaker, if you go to the counties, our healthcare system is on its deathbed. Why? Because we don't have drugs. We don't have reagents in the hospitals. The nurses are either on strike or they are on go slow because they're not getting all their allowances. Madam Speaker, if there is no medicine, somebody who is sick in the hospital will not wait for the medicine. So we would like to urge the government or the Treasury to release money in good time so that our people can get services, because they are dying like flies because of that mistake. And remember, universal healthcare is part of a key area in the Big Four agenda. Look, Madam Speaker, at the issue of agriculture, which is also devolved. And food security is also part of the Big Four agenda. Right now, in most areas of Kenya, Madam Speaker, it is raining, and most counties subsidize farm inputs. If we don't have money released to the counties, then people will not plant, and therefore the agenda of food security will not be achieved. Madam Speaker, talk about the other item of Big Four agenda, industrialization.
Senator,
most of our industries are agri-based.
Your time is up, Senator.
How would we achieve?
Your time is up. Senator Loitip Anwar. Ametoa hiyo zero.
Asante. Shukran Madam Speaker kwa kunipa fursa hii niweze kuchangia kwa mswada wa ugavi wa rasilimali 2021 na 2022. Kwanza ningependa kusema kama seneta wa kaunti ya Lamu kuwa naunga mkono ripoti hii. Pili ni kutoa shukrani zangu za dhati kwa komiti ambayo ikiongozwa na seneta wa Kirinyaga kwa kuja na ripoti ambayo ni kabambe na kuzingatia kila kaunti isiweze kupoteza rasilimali yoyote. Kwa sababu ya muda, Madam Speaker, nitazungumza masuala mawili tu. Swala la kwanza ni kuhusu ufisadi. Sote tunajua kuwa bunge la Senate kazi yake ni kusimamia rasilimali ya county na kuweza kuhakikisha rasilimali imefika county. Lakini kwa nguvu na spidi ambayo tunaona ufisadi, na leo viongozi wameweza kudhibiti kuwa kila siku bilioni 2 inapotea katika nchi ya Kenya, ni hali ya kusikitisha sana. Madam Speaker, ningependa hii iwe changamoto na maseneta wengine wataniunga mkono, kwa kuwa swala la kuchelewa kwa rasilimali ni kitu ambayo ni donda sugu katika kaunti zetu. Na kwa sababu ya muda na kwa manufaa ya wananchi wa Lamu, ningependa kuambia kuwa kaunti ya Lamu imeongezewa nusu bilioni ambayo ni milioni 500 kutoka bilioni 2.5 kwa hadi bilioni 3.1. Kwa machache, asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you, Senator Murkomen Onesmus Kipchumba.
Madam Speaker, from the onset, I want to say I support this very important motion, the bill, together with the amendments that have been proposed by the committee. I want to first start by congratulating the committee for doing a good job, advising the House accordingly insofar as matters related to conditional grants are concerned. And as per the decision of the court, Division of Revenue Bill should only deal with shareable revenue between the two levels of government and not be shrouded by other conditional grants that really mislead the public, that counties are getting a lot of money and in reality it is not being shared equitably among the counties. Number two, it must go to the books, to the annals of history, that we achieved these 370 billion after a very protracted fight that, Madam Speaker, kept us in this House for almost 3 to 4 months, continuously negotiating. And in fact, a process that went beyond a year, but intensively for 4 months, with colleagues being arrested, with colleagues being intimidated, with colleagues being harassed. But eventually, it is a lesson for all those who are going to practice politics, that if you always stand by the right thing, Madam Speaker, in the end, the benefit will not just be for yourself, but the rest of the country. Madam Speaker, when we started division of revenue debate, allocation of revenue debate and formula, Elgeyo Marakwet County was among the counties that were supposed to benefit and get 300 million. Many people criticized me from my county and said that I was anti-Elgeyo Marakwet. Elgeyo Marakwet was supposed to get 300 million. Why am I standing with counties that are losing money? But I am glad to tell the country that by standing with the counties that were meant to lose resources, Elgeyo Marakwet now is getting over 700 million extra because of that effort to do the right thing. And this is a lesson for all of us, that no matter what pressure we have in life, let us stand and do the right thing. The last thing, Madam Speaker, is to say this. I hope the executive is not going to accede to this process of this bill just for purpose of meeting a short-term interest. We want to see the resources that are meant for counties being transferred. At the moment, counties are having arrears of over 3 months and they are unable to function. I hope by giving the counties 371 billion shillings, we are able to ensure that even in the disbursements happen on time. And it's a challenge for control of budget, plus all those institutions, including Treasury, that have constitutional responsibility to ensure that counties are resourced, for them to follow the Constitution and ensure that our counties get money on time, because the people at the county level require resources. I am a very proud senator of Elgeyo Marakwet County. I'm a very proud senator in these chambers that eventually the efforts that we stood firm from 2013, fighting in court to ensure that this House has division of revenue, fighting, Madam Speaker, to ensure that we are respected by both levels of government, that eventually we are able to sit here in this chamber in our lifetime and celebrate the benefits of hard work by the senators in this House to ensure the resources go to our counties. Madam Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senators. Honorable Senators, we just have 3 more to go. That will take us less than 10 minutes. I would urge you to remain online. Please don't disconnect. We need to make the 3 votes. And all the senators who are around, please make it to the chambers. Senator Milgo. Senator, we are hearing you.
It is my hope that money will now go to the counties to be able to actually assist the county governments to be able to pay bills that has actually affected many of the people that have offered their services to those particular governments. In addition to that one, the lack of even salaries has been a challenge. Madam Speaker, my major worry in this particular bill only is actually the lumping of conditional grants in equitable share. Madam Speaker, I am worried particularly, I want to isolate one case of 2 billion shillings that was ring-fenced for different institutions. Madam Speaker, I think there are many counties that are able to use this particular fund to actually put up excellent different institutions. But then there are those who actually diverted the funds because of corruption that is very rampant in the counties. Now that this money has been lumped together, I think it will be a challenge for us to be able to oversight this fund and in this case follow up where the money is actually gone. Madam Speaker, Kenya has actually set out to become a middle income country by the year 2030. And what is missing, Madam Speaker, is a skill gaps in this country that in this case can be supplied through these different institutions. And in this case, if you go out, you find that Kenya is admired for very wonderful skills. However, we still have very few of these particular skills. Madam Speaker, part of these conditional grants were going to universal healthcare. However, because of the rampant conditions in the counties, what happened is that we could not even manage to come up with good health centers, because I think we should have been able to handle COVID-19 with a lot of ease. Madam Speaker, I think it is incumbent upon this particular Senate then to ensure that we follow this money and oversight to ensure that money is not lost. Now that we've been added over 50 billion, this is good money. However, while we celebrate in the Senate, we know that it can be a challenge when, in this case, money is diverted from instead of spending it in a particular purpose. As I end, Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity to welcome Senator Yusuf Haji Jr.
Your time is spent, Honorable Senator, your time is spent. Senator, Mary Senator. Mary Senator online, please. Senator, you online?
For giving me yes.
Okay, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Thank you for giving me a chance to also add my voice on this very important motion. And from the onset, I want to celebrate the Senate for making it for the allocation to the counties be increased this particular financial year, 2020 to 2021. I also want to point out only 3 issues, Madam Speaker. I want to urge county governments to make sure that a bigger percentage of this money goes to development projects. In many of our counties, we see a lot of money being allocated to social programs like women groups and other small programs like foodstuffs, instead of much money being allocated to physical projects that we can even see that can impact to the lives of the citizens. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want also to say that county governments need also to make sure that there is proper collection of own revenue so that these monies we have increased can be reallocated back to them. Madam Speaker, without revenue allocation, then we shall see late disbursement of monies, or we shall even see an empty treasury without money. now, because we are going for governors will use the revenue that they collect, and therefore we may not really get the much money we have seen that has been allocated to the counties. Maybe it will be on paper, but even as for now, we have no monies for salaries in the counties. We have no monies for development in the counties because there is late disbursement, and so they must also put proper systems of revenue collection. And finally, Madam Speaker, Senator, there must be proper use of this.
Your time is done.
There must be proper use of these funds.
Thank you, Senator. And finally, Senator Naomi Wako.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to this very important bill. And from the onset, I want to say that I support the Division of Revenue Allocation Bill with amendments. Madam Speaker, as we all remember, getting to where we were was not easy. The Team Kenya, together with others, stood firm and made sure that we fought for the citizens. And I thank God that today the counties will get 370. 370 will be divided among the 47 counties. Madam Speaker, I support this bill and also thank our president who listened to us and at the end of the day allowed the increment of 53.3 billion. Before I proceed, Madam Speaker, allow me just to congratulate Senator Abdul Kadir and tell him that we are praying for him as he joins Senate. His father was a role model, and it is our prayer that he will also be a role model to the young people in our society. Going back again to the issue of the revenue sharing, Madam Speaker, the issue of corruption in our country is getting out of hand. And I wonder why every time we cry and say this, when we are not taking much action. Corruption at the county level is on the rise. And Madam Speaker, we speak of COVID millionaires at the national level, while even at the county levels, we have COVID millionaires. Madam Speaker, it is important for us to urge ourselves and the government to take more action, more serious action on any member of, any office who is involved in corruption to be charged and to be arrested. Madam Speaker, before I finish, I want to say something.
Time is up. I would like now.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. May I take this opportunity to call upon the mover to reply?
Madam Speaker, I beg to reply. Madam Speaker, I want to thank members who have spoken on the bill and the support that I see coming to make sure that we pass this bill. Madam Speaker, this is a big improvement from the last Division of Revenue bill, and is in tandem with the provisions of our Constitution, Madam Speaker, whereby the Constitution provides for no less than 15%, and this now represents 27.3%. That is something that the Senate has been able to fight to be able to support counties. Madam Speaker, you can see now why members are asking for accountability, why members are saying that this disbursements should be quick and urgent as soon as it is possible, and that the counties therefore become responsible. And you've listened, I have listened to suggestions by members. I want to support that. There's a lot of money coming in. Apart from the equitable share, there's a lot of other monies that are coming to support various programs. And so there, the capacity of the counties to absorb these funds, the capacity of the counties to actually account for these funds is going to be a big issue. And so those of you who are running counties out there, be prepared and be forewarned. It is public money, it is for the people, it is for the counties, and we want to make sure that the money is put to good use. I would like to use this opportunity, therefore, to thank all those who have spoken and those who have made contributions. The issues they have raised, that the government is taking very keen attention, very keen interest in what we have to say. And Madam Speaker, it is for me to request again, members, to let us vote and pass this bill, and so that we are able, therefore, to move to the next level, which is the County Allocation of Revenue Bill. With those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I'm very glad that today we are able to vote online also. And those of you who are online, I want to appeal to them, Madam Speaker, to stay online as you have done, so that you can finish with this vote. I beg to reply. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, I put a question that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 7 of 2021, be now read a second time. Can the bell be read for only rang for only 1 minute, please? Senators who are Can we have tellers on, please let's have one, can the tellers move forward to the dispatch? The tellers from both sides. Senator Abshiro and Senator Pareno. Honorable Senators, we have 3 votes, and let's not go away. The Senators online, please keep logged in. We want to spend the shortest time possible to take the 3 votes. And this is a matter concerning counties. Yes, so we will do it directly through the clerk. I will do it by calling up the names, out the names.
Senator Adan Duro Fatuma, Isiolo County. You can use the dispatch.
On behalf of Isiolo delegation, I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdurai Ibrahim, Wajir County. Senator Boy Isa Juma, Kwale County.
I vote yes. Oh, that's
That was Senator Zani. We are okay. She's now on the screen. Senator, you can repeat.
I vote yes.
Senator Cherarike yes. Samson Kiprotich, Nandi County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes on behalf of Nandi.
Senator Cheriot Aaron, Kericho County. Senator Haji Abdukadiri Mohammed, Garissa County. Senator Harigura Godana, Marsabit County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Imana Marakai Charles, Turkana County.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of Turkana, I vote yes.
Senator Kajwang Moses, Homa Bay County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of Turkana, yes.
Senator, you can vote. You can vote again.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kamar Margaret was in Gishu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Can we have Senator, please vote again?
I vote yes, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Murang'a County. Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County.
Madam Speaker, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Vihiga votes yes.
Senator Kibiru Charles, Kirinyaga County.
Kirinyaga votes yes.
Senator Kihika Susan, Nakuru County. Senator Kimani wa Matangi, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bomet County.
Okay, Madam Speaker, on behalf of Bomet County, I vote yes.
Senator Lelewe Tumbesi, Samburu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Linturi Mithika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Anwar, Lamu County.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the great people of Lamu County, I vote yes. Thank you.
Senator Mazayo Stewart, Kilifi County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Malala Cleophas Wakungu, Kakamega County.
Of Kakamega delegation, Senator Musuruve votes yes.
Senator Mbito Michael, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mbogo George Ochiro Ayako, Migori County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mogeni Okongo, Nyamira County. Senator Moi Gideon, Baringo County. Senator Mpayei Philip, Kajiado County.
On behalf of Kajiado, I vote yes.
Senator Murkomen Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mudhama Agnes Kavindu, Machakos County.
Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the Machakos people, I vote yes. I didn't get a chance to contribute, but I vote yes.
Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County. Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwasushe, Taita Taveta County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mwinyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Ongeri Samson, Kisii County.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of Kisii County, I vote yes.
Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Bogisho Samuel, West Pokot County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson, Nairobi City County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wako Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch, Kitui County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses, Bungoma County.
Yeah, we will repeat for senators who are not in the house there.
Senator Cheruiyot Aaron, Kericho County. Senator Kihika Susan, Nakuru County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Haji Abdulkadir Mohammed, Garissa County. Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Linturi Mithika, Meru County. Senator Mogeni Okongo, Nyamira County. Senator Moi Gideon, Baringo County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County. Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses, Bungoma County.
Honorable Senators, these are the results for the division. Ayes 34, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it. Next order.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the equitable division of revenue raised nationally between the national and county governments in 2021-2022 financial year and for connected purposes.
It's committed.
Order number 5, Committee of the Whole, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 7 of 2021.
The senators, we can sit as Honorable Senators, we are doing Committee of the Whole on the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill, number 7 of 2021.
Clauses 3, 4, and 5.
I propose the question that clauses 3, 4, and 5 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 3, 4, and 5 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
The schedule.
What's the title? The schedule. I propose the question that the schedule be part of the bill. Mover to move amendments. Chairperson, Committee on Finance and Budget. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I would like to move that the bill be amended by deleting the schedule and substituting therefore the following new schedule. Schedule S4, allocation of revenue raised nationally between the national and county governments for the financial year 2021-2022, type/level of allocation. A, total shareable revenue. B, national government. C, equalization fund. And D, county equitable share. The amounts in respect of total shareable revenue is 1,775,000,000 or billion 624,173,860. That is then B, national government, to be allocated 1,398,798,856,427. Equalization fund 6,800,000,000 is this? Not so sure. This looks like a trillion, yeah. 6 billion 825,317,433. Then D, county equitable share, 370 billion. So in terms of percentages, equalization is 0.5%, and D, county equitable share is 27.3%. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I propose the question that the schedule be amended as proposed. I put the question that the schedule be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 2, the title, and clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Umeomoka. Kama hujaomoka kwenye Quickbit ndio mambo yote. Hapa tuko na fridge, kodi yake ni CM. Tuko na gas cooker, kodi yake ni CK. Tuko na TV, kodi yake ni TV. Tuko na simu aina ya Samsung ni SM, ama Oppo ni Oppo. My friend, mahali popote unanitizama, eka hizo kodi zake kisha utume kwa 4032353. 4032353. Alafu utakuwa unaomoka na hizi bidhaa. Kumbuka kwenye Quickbit ni bila bora zaidi kwa bei ya chini kwa chini. Fashion Nova, Fashion Nova, bado kaki tenge kanapendeza, kanapendeza, toto stingo zake ni noma noma, noma noma, figa yake ndani ya dere na wapa homa, inawapa homa. See my baby's a fashionista, fashionista, and I like the way she bend over. My baby's a fashionista, fashionista. Nikiwa naye game over, game over. Oh, I love the way you break it and pose. Oh, baby, break it and pose. Oh, I love the way you break it and whine. My baby, you fine. I love the way you break it and pose. Oh, baby, break it and pose. Oh, I love the way you break it and whine. Baby, you find my baby, kama vita. Jewe ndo denge wendo kita. Ukibanua mina bandika. Oh nana. Kama ndo mos na maringo. Kaki smile kana dimples. Stelling pattern, girl are different. Nobody can test only Batman a bingo. see my baby's a fashionista. Fashionista. And I like the way she bend over. Bend over. You see my baby's a fashionista. Fashionista. Nikiwa naye game over. Game over. Oh, I love the way you break it and pose. Break it and pose. Oh, I love the way you break it and whine. My baby, you fine. I love the way you break it and pose. Break it and pose. Oh, I love the way you break it and whine. My baby, you fine. Oh, I love the way you break it and pose. Break it and pose. Jibu leo nalitambua, nachotaka ni mapenzi, na nikipenda nimependa, ili mradi kushimana, usiku wanijia kwa ndoto, mahaba moto moto, malavi siyo choto, nahisi nimeshashinda loto, kuwa nawe mtoto, kwenye baridi joto, makaidi nitakuwa nawe. Nilishe nishibe, una deni la moyo, situko bize bele, nahitaji time yangu, nataka nikushike japo one time, one time, unitulize roho yangu one time.